Well, youth season is finally upon us. It starts in the morning on Thursday. Couldn't be more excited. We still got Rye coming up, gonna spend the weekend with us. Can't wait to get him in the stand. Hopefully get him his first deer or first buck, whatever presents itself. It don't matter. It's about making that next memory for him to carry on through his life. Before we got into the video here, I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody that participated, that sent in photos of their kids, or a photo of when you grew up hunting, that person that inspired you to get in the great outdoors. And I wanted to tell a quick story about me and my dad. Back when I was younger, we had some land there behind the house, and we had access to hunt it. We'd ride four-wheelers and dirt bikes and run through the woods and BB guns and squirrel hunt and what have you. But there was this one particular piece that was across the creek, and we put a canoe down there. You have to ride the four-wheeler down there and get in the canoe and float down a little ways and get up on the other side. And there was a bench that went along this hillside, and we hung a trail camera, found really big rubs and scrapes, and it was, hey, this is him. This is where we was going to kill a really nice Alabama whitetail. So we had everything set. We put up the old trail cameras. You had to put the Polaroids in, and this is how long ago this was. And the morning of the hunt came, and Dad always raised me and my brother that, when you walk through the woods, you want to sound in sync together. I put my foot down, you put yours down, so it minimizes that noise. And I was in a real big hurry. I was excited. We knew when he was coming. We had him patterned, and I was in a real big rush of hurry, get there. Daylight's gonna get us, and I was just in too much of a hurry. And anyway, being hard-headed, me and my dad got in a big fight and screaming and hollering and kicking leaves and everything else. And finally, Dad just sat down, and raising me was more important than killing that deer. Being patient, because our time may not be that right time. And anyway, we come to an agreement somehow, and we continued on. It was so far back in there. We got in there. I got in the stand. Dad sat on the hill behind me. I had my gun, and I was messing around with a grunt call and wasn't seeing nothing. I was like, well, this hunt's blown. We done got in a fight, screaming, hollering, and I ended up falling asleep in the stand. Dad was on the hillside behind me, and lo and behold, this deer right here come running down the trail that we knew where he was going to be, except he was an hour late. He wasn't showing up right at daylight. So me being asleep, Dad waited, and finally the deer got close enough. Dad pulled the trigger on it. Scared me to death, woke me up. I jumped. Even though I wasn't able to harvest that deer and wasn't the one to be able to pull that trigger, that is a memory and a story that, will stick with me the rest of my life, because being patient, that even if we got in there at daylight, we wouldn't have seen him. So I want to read a verse of scripture from Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. That scripture right there has been with me my entire life. The high school I went to, that was our school scripture. So remember that this weekend, going into the youth season, be patient with these little ones. You may not see something, but the memory you'll make will outlast any deer that you kill or any fish that you may catch. So get out there, have fun, and make another memory.
I was 5 years old when he took me to elk camp. We must have sang every word to a 90s country soundtrack. And when I joined the baseball team, he made me feel like a celebrity. He's the guy right there with coach written on his back. I remember thinking way back when all I I wanted was to be with him. Going up in the mountains, out on the lake, with a rod in my hand, catching trout all day, feeling like that sun would never fade away. Rocking out in that old Toyota with the windows down, sipping Coca-Cola. That shotgun seat puts a big smile on my face. If you ask me if there's one place I'd rather be, that's somewhere with my dad next to me. I'm 25 now and living on my own, and all I know is I thank God for cell phones. 'Cause even though I'm 2,000 miles away, we still talk every single day. It makes me feel like I'm not that far from home. When days get rough and life takes a toll, I close my eyes and my mind goes up in the mountains, out on the lake, with a rod in my hand, catching trout all day, feeling like that sun would never fade away. Rocking out in that old Toyota with the windows down, sipping Coca-Cola. That shotgun seat puts a big smile on my face. If you ask me if there's one place I'd rather be, that's somewhere with my dad next to me. He's strong and wise and makes me laugh, teaches me how a man should act. He always gives the best advice. I'm thankful for all the times we went up in the mountains, out on the lake, with a rod in my hand, catching trout all day, feeling like that sun would never fade away. Rocking out in that old Toyota with the windows down, sipping Coca-Cola. That shotgun seat puts a big smile on my face. If you ask me if there's one place I'd rather be, that's somewhere with my dad next to me.
Ran out of that bedroom about as gung-ho as he could be in his Mossio. Took a first hunt picture on my phone before he fell asleep on the way. I held the gun, he held the light, a cup of coffee and a can of Sprite. The stand was only 10 feet high, but on top of the world that day. I already knew he wouldn't see a thing. Been 3 more times and it's always the same, 'cause he moves too much and he talks too loud. But I don't mind, 'cause I'm finding out that even if it's just time we're killing, it's never felt more like living. They'll make you cuss and wear your patience thin, but next thing you know, they're all grown up and then you're hunting by yourself again. Well, I've heard them say these days don't last. I know the years are gonna fly fast, right out the door and never come back as bad as you want them to. Pretty soon he'll sit in his own tree, be a bat out of hell with a set of keys. And chasing girls is gonna be all he'll wanna do. He'll have a lot less time for his old man, so I'm gonna soak it up while I still can. When he moves too much and he talks too loud, but I don't mind, 'cause I'm finding out that even if it's just time we're killing, it's never felt more like living. They'll make you cuss and wear your patience thin. The next thing you know, they're all grown up, and then you're hunting by yourself again.
Tell me about the first deer you seen out the window.
The first deer that I seen out the window, I wanted to shoot it, but it was...
Runs out of that bedroom about his gung-ho as he can be in his mossy oak. Hop in the truck and off we go. I can't help but smile, 'cause he don't know he moves too much and he talks too loud. But I don't mind, 'cause I'm finding out that even if it's just time we're killing, it's never felt more like living. They'll make you cuss and wear your patience thin. But next thing you know, they're all grown up, and then you're hunting by yourself again.
From all of us here at ATH, good luck this season on your next trophy. And remember, a trophy hunt is any hunt when you're making another memory.